We just finished up a sermon series on supernatural acts. And really, the whole point of supernatural acts is to produce supernatural results and to have supernatural thinking. It was a 5-sermon series. I'm going to briefly hit the first 4, and then we'll talk about the 5th one and what we learned there and how that might apply to you as a business leader. So the first one was you got to have God first. God first in your life, God first in your business. When you put God first, you have the best opportunity to have a supernatural result. Otherwise, it's just you doing it, and there's not really anything supernatural about us. The second sermon was about pray first. Well, prayer increases your relationship with God, and in a lot of ways it maximizes the power of your supernatural gift that you have, or that act that you're going to go and accomplish. So starting everything with prayer gives you that ability to focus on what you're doing and elevate the power of that. The third would be emptying yourself of worldly issues so that God can come in and have plenty of room within you. This one really impacted me from a business standpoint because there's a lot of things that we have to do as a business. And if you're doing things well, everyone's busy all the time. But not all things are equal. And there are some things that we're doing just because we've been doing them in the past. So I would ask yourself, what are the things in your business that can be cut, can be eliminated to make room for your new vision as a leader and what you guys have on today's initiatives? Don't let those things of the past keep you busy just for being busy's sake. Make sure all your time is focused on what is the priority of today. And I think, personally, you need to do that too. The fourth thing is we all have gifts. Every one of us have gifts. And in the Bible, it talks about 8 supernatural gifts, and you can have them all, and all you have to do is ask. And I'm not going to go through every one of those, but I will say I would research and ask. Ask for your gift. Ask for all the gifts. They're there. They're waiting for us. All we have to do is ask. And I would say in a professional sense, as you look at every person on your team, and as you look at yourself, we all have a superpower. We all have a gift that's natural to us, that we were set aside for and just inherited because of who we are. And some of us are great at sales. Some of us are great at spreadsheets. We're all great at something. And you got to make sure that you're putting your people in the position for them to produce the best results. And that's actually seeing their gifts and identifying those and then putting them in position to succeed. And then that brings us to the 5th sermon, which is you are supernatural. I love the way that we started this sermon. He said that vision leaks. So think of like a full cup of water and that it leaks out slowly. And think about when you give the vision to your company, if you never repeat that vision for people to constantly hear it, it will leak. They'll remember parts of it, but they won't remember all of it. You will have lost over time the full effectiveness of that vision. So you have to communicate that vision over and over again. And to some extent, for yourself, you have to do the same thing. And it was taught as looking in the mirror. What mirror are you looking at to give you a reflection of yourself? Are you looking at someone else's vision of you? Or are you looking in the mirror at how you view yourself? Or are you looking in the mirror of how God views you? We're taught that God is our Father, and He loves us more than any other normal father that we know could ever love someone. So if you were looking at your son or your daughter in the mirror, like how do you see them? And that's how you should see yourself. And he broke it down into 3 ways that we should look at ourselves. The first question would be, well, who am I? And we're God's masterpiece. We were created in the vision of Jesus, and it talks about that in Ephesians chapter 2. So you would ask yourself, well, who am I? The second one is, what am I? And we are people of purpose. We all have a purpose in life. It's what gets us out of bed. And it talks about what our purpose is in 2 Corinthians chapter 5. We're ambassadors of God. That is our purpose, naturally given to us by God. But at our core, as human beings, we all have a purpose. And professionally, understanding what someone's purpose is, whether they've shared that with you or whether that you've noticed it and learned it by just being in a relationship with someone, you should understand what gets them out of bed. And then the third thing is, why am I? And the reason why we are here is to go make a difference. And it talks about in Romans chapter 8 that all of creation is waiting for us to step up and go make a difference in the lives of others. And I just think about our business or any of your businesses. As a leader, vision leaks. You have to constantly communicate that vision so that your company stays purposeful and achieves that vision. And you got to ask yourself, well, who am I? And what am I? Or who is our company? What is our company? And why is our company? What are those answers that make up what your company is? And how can you as the leader continue to paint that vision over time so that you achieve all of that? So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to continue to bring these things over time every week as lessons learned. And I would love for you to stay in tune with us and provide us your feedback.